Welcome, my name is Nisarga, and I would like to explain you in this session working with superficial layers of the front line, focusing on the breath. If you imagine looking on the skeleton from the side, superficial front line and superficial back line, they work like a line of the mast that support the skeleton. Now, if this superficial front line is shortened, compressed, there's some tension, naturally what's happening, we collapse our shoulders, we move our neck forward, and automatically all this front line that supports the lifting of the thorax and opening up the breath is shortened. So in this session, I would like to show you how we can lift from the pubis, the rectus abdominis, the core of the belly, going into the sternalis, these two muscles next to the sternum, and pectoralis major, connecting here to the thorax, sternum, clavicle, and humerus bone, to create that lift that will also help to move the neck and the head backward. So let's take a look on the table for this body work. So I have here my friend Johannes. He's a model for this session. And as you notice, my landmarks here for this front line is pubis, the front part of the pelvic floor. I want to understand where is the sternum in this session. So starting from palpating a little bit on the sternum and finding sternalis, these small muscles on the side of the sternum. I want to know where is xiphoid process, the bottom part of the sternum, which is a very important part of the diaphragmatic flow. I want to understand where are the floating ribs, the lower ribs of Johannes. And also good to know, palpate the clavicle here in the front, and of course, shoulder girdle. So I will start with just first superficial strokes with my relaxed hand, just lifting all this superficial line of fascia through the belly. We already warmed him up a little bit, so normally when we work on the belly, we need to take a moment to warm it up. And you see the touch is slow and deep. And Johannes, you can increase your breath a little bit. So in this body work, I also observe his breath. How is the breath flowing? Take another deep breath. So I can see it really expands in the belly. Diaphragmatic breath is happening. And somewhat I'm noticing lack of movement in the thoracic inlet into the upper chest. So from here, I want to move into the sternum again, having this idea of lifting the breath. Following the breath patterns. Going into the sternum. And then all the way into the pectoralis major, into the shoulders. The idea here is how we can melt, how we can open the front line up. Basically create more space for the lungs into the upper thorax. And if you notice now, after just a few strokes, the difference between the right and the left, a bit wider already, a bit more open. Taking another deep breath, Johannes. Somewhat and starts moving upward. In this session, I'm looking for this three-dimensional breath. When the breath flow top and bottom, side to side, and back and front. Noticing a little bit of tension around here, the lower part of the sternum. I want to take a moment to connect slowly this part. We work so deeply, we need to find attunement, being present. On this side, I might go with this kind of stroke, going deeper into the shoulder. After a few deep strokes, I might find a little bit of rocking, relaxation into the shoulder. The movement comes, if the movement comes, you can allow the movement in with the breath, a little bit of unwinding, moving through the spine. And you can notice the changes in the breath. Something already shifted. Breath starts flowing more up, it's wider. So again, very important part of the breath session is about preparing for deeper work, and it's about lifting that front line. If the sound comes, you can allow the sound. Wonderful. In MER, Myofascial Energetic Release, we invite the sound, the expression, the emotions, movement, releasing, expanding that fluidity in the fascia, in the soft tissue, into the chest, into the breath. Strokes, we can have a little bit more of the resourcing touch for a moment.